Now it's 10:18 in my watch. And what's, I think, approx that. And we are going to be together till 12, I believe.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Before I begin, I'd like to show just a 1 minute video and give me your observations about that. Okay. I hope you understood my instructions.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for responding. Can you all see? Can you all
Yes,
see?
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, is there sound?
Yeah, 1 minute. Yes, yes. Sorry. Who's that?
Aditi.
Thank you for teaching me. Is it audible?
Yes, ma'am. Now.
Yes, yes, it is.
Yes. What was the video all about? What message did you get from the video? Sorry, just avoid the last part. Happy Teachers Day. Other than that, what was it?
The role of the teachers.
Of the teacher.
Importance
Importance of the teacher.
What role she plays?
One by one. Yes.
What role does the teacher play in a student's life, like a friend, a motivator, a guide?
Okay. So basically, what role does a teacher play in a student's life? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. What else?
What impact can a teacher have on a student's life, either in a positive or in a negative way?
Very, very good. What else?
How she molds a student.
If
A teacher molds the student. Okay. What else?
if a student is stuck in any problem, he can talk freely to teacher and she can guide the student.
Very good.
Ma'am,
But-
a teacher
Okay.
is not just a teacher but a friend also. She should be she should have a friendly nature so that students share their problems.
Okay. But why only a teacher? Why are we focusing so much on the teacher?
Because ma'am, we are there with them in the initial age, the growing age, when they are growing.
After that, there is no role of the teacher.
No, ma'am. Till the time
So-
the student studies, a teacher is there with him or her.
The
Ma'am,
impact the
For you,
teacher.
who said just now, who was talking?
Ma'am, Priyal.
Priya. For you, according to you, huh? So a teacher is only for academics, right?
No, ma'am. Like it starts from academics. and then goes on. So I have my teacher who had taught me in 8th and 9th, but I am still close to her and I go and share my problems. Like
Okay.
if I'm stuck somewhere, she gives me solution for everything.
Okay. But why are we talking about teachers, and not some other person?
Ma'am, besides parents, ma'am, teachers are also a part of our lives, ma'am. And like our parents, they also spend maximum amount of time with us.
Okay.
They have a huge impact on us, which is like it's a permanent image that builds inside the mind of the child, and it's gonna be there forever. Which is why it's very important for a teacher to be like such a person who's actually lasting that permanent image in the kid child's mind.
But why not any person has an impact? Only a teacher has an impact.
She's the first person who's actually teaching the child something more than the parents. She is the one who's actually teaching them more.
Or we, as a teacher, definitely we define a teacher, whoever teaches you something, whoever gives you any experience, who give you new learnings, who give you or who guides you. Any person is a teacher. Any person can be a teacher. So,
Okay.
so in that terms, I was saying that
Apart from parents, teacher are the like individuals whom the students spend most of the time of the day. So they have a huge impact.
Also, they not only guide in terms of academics, but they also guide to the path of life. So in their academics, like while they're teaching something, there are so many hidden philosophies that they teach us, so that always stays with us. So,
Okay. It's not only the academics, but I think the life lessons that the teacher teaches
yes,
us.
yes,
That's what it is. And as you all said that the teacher motivates, the teacher has an impact. Why does a teacher has an impact? What are the reasons that a teacher has an impact on us? Even I had, it's not that I've joined this profession because I wanted to. It was not my choice. I'm frankly sharing with you. But then I got into this profession and then now I'm enjoying this profession. But why do we always say that I remember that teacher and I can't forget that teacher? Why always we have that one person, one teacher? I'm sure all of you all must be having at least one teacher whom you still remember.
Ma'am, teachers have a
and
very
then
unique position in our life, a very unique place in our lives where we tend to respect them more than others, or we have this we admire, they're in a position where we admire them and we are to look up. It just so happens that we spend so much time with them, or we're learning, we're in that power relation as such where they're teaching us something, so we are looking up to them, and in that process we start admiring them, have a different respect, different form of respect, which is why they make a more impact on our lives.
See, why I'm doing this particular discussion, because it is related to the topic that I'm going to do. So we said that the teacher has an impact because she has taught us some life lessons. Maybe that you like that teacher, maybe for no reason, maybe not for only teaching, maybe for some other reason you like it. It's not necessary that a teacher needs to be good when she's teaching. It may be some other traits of the teacher that has impacted you, not her teaching. Am I right?
yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Not always teaching. It may be that during that particular situation where you needed someone and she was there for you. For that reason, you always remember that teacher. Maybe that teacher may be very bad at teaching, but she may possess these particular qualities which you like it and you feel okay. I still remember, I can't forget this teacher. And there are sometimes that you love the way the teacher teaches, but you may not like her other traits. Does this happen with you?
yes, that
Yes,
yes,
happens.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, there was one teacher, my history teacher. She used to only tell us stories. She used to never teach us. She only used to tell us stories. I used to like a lecture. Like I was like, wow, now it's a story time. I only like that teacher.
Okay. So we have these So now we are going to be future teachers, right? You all are going to be future teachers. So what do you think that a teacher, you all, or even me, till now, I need, what is the most important thing in the classroom for a teacher?
Student-teacher relationship.
Okay, student-teacher relationship. What else?
To be kind.
No, forget about the traits. I'm talking from the teaching perspective, the teaching learning process.
The teacher should know every student of a class, like individually, what are her
Means
or
the
his.
teacher should
They individually know the students, what are the how the student behaves in the class, what is his you can say.
So during her teaching learning process, the teacher needs to know the student.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what else?
That all his student, all his or her students should excel in life in whatever field they have chosen and be a responsible citizen.
I'm talking about teaching learning process now. Please forget about life. Now this is the teacher, the classroom and the students.
Ma'am, teacher can try how to make the learning experience very interesting. In many ways, she can do that.
How that is possible?
It can be we can like observe the students. We can see the patterns, like how, in which topic or in which field they are interested, and then we can mold our lesson plan. We can do lots of activities. Anything which students really like, so
Okay.
that they will learn and grasp the concept very well, according to me.
Thank you. So now when I ask y'all that y'all are going to give lessons, right? You all are going to give lessons?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you all thought about how are you going to give your first lesson?
No.
You're not thought about how are you going to give, what are you going to use in your lessons? You've not thought about. Now so many seminars are over, so many orientation is over. We finish with objective, we finish with lesson planning, we finish with core elements. Okay, what is the base of a lesson plan?
The aim that you're trying to teach across.
Is it the aim?
General objective.
Ma'am, objective.
Objective. Okay. So what does a teacher want in the classroom for the students?
For them to learn.
And to
Learn.
understand
See,
and acquire.
your students, you need to understand that learning has to take place. Means the classroom, the teaching learning process is for learning only. But how can a teacher, what can she do? What is important for a teacher when she comes to class and she starts her teaching? What is important? What does she want from the students?
The enthusiasm.
Okay, someone said participation. Very good. What else?
Interest.
Eagerness.
Interest.
Curiosity.
Interaction.
Interaction.
Comfort them.
See,
Attention.
one minute. We say interaction. We said participation. We said involvement. Can we say engagement?
Ma'am, comfort them.
Please, I'm not talking about the traits of comfort and all. Now I'm talking about, now I'm teaching you all. All my students are part of my teaching. Am I able to hold the attention and am I able to involve all my students?
No, ma'am.
I'm not able to do that.
You are.
No. Don't say, who said that? No.
Ma'am, it's me, Hamid.
Yes, tell me, Hamid.
Ma'am, from your side, you're trying your best, but from the side of student, it's not necessarily everyone is
No,
doing.
I'm not talking out from whose side. I'm talking from a teacher's perspective now, from my end. Am I able to involve all my students? Am I able to interact with them? Am I getting their involvement? Are they participating in my classroom?
Not every student, but few are participating, ma'am.
Okay, so few are participating. So for that, I think something is lacking in me, Hamid, in my teaching.
No, ma'am. It's from the student's point of view. They are
Hamid, don't go into students. I'm not asking
Ma'am,
from
it could be
students' point.
other things also, not just the teacher, but the situation. For example, the online setting is not very conducive for attention throughout the class. So that could be another factor. It's not all.
Forget about everything. Now, in ideal classroom. Imagine we all are in BTTC or 9th floor in the lecture hall.
Maybe it will take times, not in a one first lecture, but maybe.
Okay. So what should a teacher do for that? If she wants participation, if she wants involvement, if she wants engagement of the student, what as a teacher I should do?
Ma'am, the first lecture will be, you will be understanding the students, how they are.
See, understand my question. Now the teacher knows the student, everything has happened.
Ma'am, we can ask questions to the students in between.
Maybe I'm not using the right kind of methodology. Maybe I'm not using the right kind of principles that I'm supposed to use. Maybe I'm not making my lesson effective.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So as a teacher, I need to use certain principles, certain tenets, certain working rules or general truths in teaching to make my teaching learning process effective and interesting. And when I use these principles, when I use these tenets, when I use these working rules and general truths to make my teaching learning effective, they are called maxims of teaching. Have you understood from where we have landed where?
Yes.
We started with the role of a teacher. We understood the qualities, traits, and what a teacher should be and how she impacts the life of the student, right? Then we came into the teaching learning process, that is the classroom. And then you all said that I was not able to involve my students, engage my students, or interact or make that teaching learning process an effective one. So I may be lacking in the principles, in the tenets, in the working rules, or the general truths which are used in the classroom to make the teaching learning effective, and those are called maxims of teaching. Have you understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you understood?
yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Have you understood the connection, what I have used, how I have used?
Yes.
In order to make my classroom interactive, in order to make my students enjoy, have fun. So what is a teacher supposed to do? Other than methods of teaching, other than the resources, she's going to use the principle of teaching that every teacher should know, and these are called maxims of teaching. What are maxims of teaching? Can you explain now what are maxims of teaching?
Principle.
The fundamental observational, like the observed techniques or tried and tested methods by which we can engage all the students together in an effective manner.
What was the first word that you said?
Ma'am, tried and tested techniques.
Tried and tested experiences, can we say?
Ma'am, I'm assuming that this is based on some research in the sense that people have done this and they know that these work for sure.
Who's speaking? Who's talking?
Ma'am, Harshvardhan.
Who?
Harshvardhan, ma'am.
Yes, okay, Harshvardhan. Have you read somewhere? Have you read about it?
No, ma'am. I actually had a doubt. Ma'am, are they guaranteed to work in the sense, I mean, sometimes students will automatically be disengaged. They might have their own thing going on in their head. Will they always work, ma'am, or will there be situations where
it works? It's therefore based on experiences, and these maxims of truths are not invented. The maxims of teaching are not invented, they are discovered.
Okay.
They are discovered by experienced teachers. Based on their experiences, we have got maxims of teaching. Have you understood?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
They are discovered, they are not invented. with me, with my experience, I share it with some other teacher. That teacher picks up my experience, and that teacher again uses that. She finds it interesting. She shares it with someone else. She has an impact on the student. She feels that I was able to achieve the objective of participation, involvement, interaction. And therefore, this goes on. It is not invented. It is
Discovered.
discovered. And discovered by?
Experienced teacher.
Very good. Am I clear by now? So what are maxims of teaching? They are principles, they are working rules or general truths through which a teacher can make the teaching learning effective, and those are called maxims of teaching. There are at least 10 to 12 maxims of teaching. Now, if you see your lesson plan, your whole lesson plan is based on what?
On the subject.
Ma'am, presentation.
No. Jaffin, can you tell me?
How we are teaching.
Jaffin? See, as I told you all in the beginning, the teacher uses different methods, she uses different techniques, she uses different resources. But other than this, the teacher needs to use something else, which are called maxims of teaching. So, Jaffin, can you tell me on what is the lesson plan based? What is the main crux on which the lesson plan is based?
The student aim, like what we want to convey to them.
No. Jaffin, when we did our lesson plan, I told you the main objective of the lesson plan is based on what? On students' what?
Ma'am, is it previous knowledge?
Very good. Previous knowledge. Do you make your whole lesson plan based on previous knowledge or no?
Yes, ma'am. Like
based.
See,
storytelling.
No, those are methods. Don't
Methods.
misunderstand with
Okay.
techniques.
It's the base from which you start.
Exactly. The base is the previous knowledge. Either the student has studied previously in the same class in the earlier chapter, or the child has studied the same matter in the previous class, or the child has some experience or exposure about that particular concept. Am I right?
Yes.
You take that as your base in your lesson plan. So if you see your lesson plan, after the topic, the standard, the timing, what comes over there? Previous knowledge of the student. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yes,
on the basis of that, you make your lesson plan. And your probing questions are also based on what?
Previous knowledge.
On the previous knowledge.
Previous knowledge. Probing questions are nothing but what you assume that the child knows. So the teacher goes from simple to complex. He goes from known to unknown. Am I right? Do you use that? Do you
Yes.
use this? You
Yes.
start with a simple concept and you go on to teach a
complex one.
You start from a known thing, you go on to an
unknown one.
And someone said that you use different methods, different resources. In order to teach the child, you show something to the child and you explain. Am I right? You show a model and you explain to the child and you make the child understand that concept. That is from abstract to concrete. Have you got my point?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So these are nothing but maxims of teaching. So the maxim starts from proceed from. The word proceed from simple to complex, proceed from known to unknown, proceed from concrete, abstract to concrete. Abstract means a concept is abstract. You show a model, you make the concept concrete, and abstract to concrete. Have you got my point? That what are maxims? Let me tell you, it's a very, very important topic from the university point of view, and also very, very important from your lesson planning and lesson point of view, because when you make your plans, you are going to write the maxims of teaching. Which maxims have you used?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this much understood by all?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So therefore, we say that teaching is an art as well as a science. And the teacher requires two important things, that is knowledge and the process of teaching. And if the teacher wants to make her teaching learning effective, she needs to use the maxims of teaching. Can you teach the unknown and go to known?
No.
Can you teach the complex and go to simple?
No.
Why no?
Because of the base, I mean, if you the base of the child only will not be clear. If he knows that, if he knows something out of a certain topic, he will be able to relate it to the new topic. You cannot relate a new topic to an old topic. You can relate an old topic to a new topic.
Yeah, but first and foremost, the child will lose interest if I start with complex.
And the teacher will be able to guide them in a very good flow, and then like make them come from simple to complex or from the known to the unknown.
Yes, and the child will be with the teacher throughout the process. Right?
Yes, ma'am. Like ma'am.
You understood the gist what I'm trying to explain, or you all are supposed to. So in the examination, you will be asked any 3 maxims of teaching or any 2 maxims of teaching. If it's a short note, you may be asked any 2. If it's a long answer, they will write which maxims you have to write. Now, please jot down in your notebooks that for each maxim, that is proceed from simple to complex, you have to write at least 3 examples from your pedagogy. Am I going too fast?
No.
Are you all with me till now what I have said?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
3 examples from the pedagogy. From our pedagogy. From simple to complex.
Examples from pedagogy. Who's that?
Avanti.
Avanti, what is your pedagogy, dear?
Ma'am, history.
History. So you will have 3 examples from the textbook based on simple to complex.
Okay, ma'am.
We will have the group activity once I finished all the maxims. So have you understood the base of maxims, what I'm trying to say? What are maxims? Now can you say, what are maxims of teaching if in your pedagogies? Now please assume that this topic will not be done with your teachers in the pedagogy. It is assumed that it is done through a seminar and you know the topic. Your teachers, pedagogy masters will only discuss the examples with you all. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So now tell me, what are maxims of teaching?
So the maxims of teaching are basically the principles or the general truths or the tenets or the working rules which help to make the teaching learning process effective, and they proceed from simple to complex.
These are different various types. So can I show 2 slides to make you all understand what are maxims?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now you know the spelling of maxims of teaching?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
You're positive that you know the spelling of maxims?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, very much.
Thank you. As Hamid said, that someone said it in class, right? As I told you that they are not invented, they are discovered. Did I say that?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Therefore, they are derived truths from experience. I said that this was discovered by senior teachers, by the most experienced teachers in their classroom. They tried and tested, and therefore they are derived truths from experiences. Maxims are derived truths from experience. Is this word or this sentence clear to you all?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So what are maxims? They are rich and varied experiences of most practical teachers who have been practicing the art of teaching for long. Please understand the word rich and varied experiences. What do you mean by this?
Diverse. and
Diverse, very
evident
good.
across time periods and settings.
Yes. And most practical teachers who've been practicing the art of teaching for long. What do you mean? The teachers who are impractical, does it mean that they are not using maxims?
Maybe their experience.
No, yeah. Impractical teachers do not use maxims and therefore their teaching learning is not effective. As I said, can a teacher start with complex to simple?
No, ma'am. No,
Can
ma'am.
a teacher start from unknown to known?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
I'm
So
the same, the
simple
teacher.
The teacher needs to be practical enough to understand the psychology, and these maxims are based on psychological basis. It is the basis of maxims are from psychological perspective. And next is they serve as a guidepost to the teacher. How does maxim serve as a guidepost to the teacher?
Because they're telling the teacher in case if they are going wrong, that it's guiding them along as well.
Right? They are guiding them to make the teacher realize that she needs, what is the objective that the teacher needs to keep in mind? That she needs to engage, she needs to interact, she needs to involve her teachers. And in order to do that, these maxims act as guidepost. Got it? And the next point is?
They have been discovered, not invented.
You know how they have been discovered?
Ma'am, through practical experiences in class.
Very good. And they've been shared by the senior and the most experienced teachers, implemented in the classroom, and it has been successful, and therefore it is passed on from one generation to the other. Or it is passed on from one teacher to the other. Is this slide clear to you all?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Pakka?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I had a question.
ma'am.
Yes, Hamid. Please ask.
So, ma'am,
Please ask me questions if you all have it now only. Don't keep it for the end moment.
if it's been discovered, so is there a chances that there will be certain more number of magazines in futures?
Yes, there are 10 to 12. It can be discovered in your own. You may also discover and you may share.
Thank you.
See, the situation keeps on changing now, students. You need to understand. What was the situation before pandemic? What is the situation now? What have we discovered? How can we teach? Are all schools and colleges shut down in pandemic?
No.
No, ma'am.
What alternative have we worked with?
Online teaching.
Online class.
So we discovered it, right? That we
Yes.
can't shut schools and colleges, or teaching cannot be shut down because of any impact in the society, any problem in the society. So now, when I say we have become virtual teachers, we are teaching through virtual platforms, we are discovered. And in that discovery, during that teaching process, you may discover some more maxims. These are the basic maxims that we are going to study, which we've been teaching and learning since years. There can be addition to it. Now it's up to you how you put it in the B.Ed curriculum. I think in near future, there may be changes, but these are the old, I would say, which have been successful. I would use the word successful in the teaching learning process whenever the teacher has used this. Have you understood?
Yes.
Yes,
Can
ma'am.
I go further?
Yes, ma'am.
What are these 2 points? I are taking so much of time to understand the points.
Ma'am, as you said before, like experienced teachers and senior most teachers have presented and like they have shared this form, the maxims with us. And
See,
it is
when rightly said, Hamid, when you said experience, with experience they have taken decisions. And these decisions are in the form of maxims. And I said that I tried out one particular maxim in class and I was successful. Then I passed on to some other teacher and said that these are my decisions, means I feel this is my perspective. They are in the form of maxims. And they are very essential for successful teaching. I gave you a reason why essential. Can you tell me why it is essential?
because it makes teaching more relevant. Like students are more connected to if you follow
Very
the
good.
maxims.
They are more connected to what you're teaching. They are with you. They understand what you're teaching. Okay. Now we are going to do different maxims. Before that, I would like you all to take up any one topic from your pedagogy. Topic from the textbook. Okay. Are you all with me?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, and try to take one concept. Maybe parts of flower, maybe maybe nouns in language, maybe international trade in commerce or economics, and maybe in history you can have revolt of 1857, or it can be the sources of history. It can be anything that you have in the textbook. Can you take one topic, all of you all in your pedagogy right now?
I'm done.
Have you selected a topic?
Ma'am, could
Yes,
you give
yes,
us
ma'am.
2 to 3 minutes?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll give you 1 minute, not 2 to 3 minutes.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, who's that? Komal?
Shweta, ma'am.
Shweta. Okay, I'll give you 1 minute to identify, and the others who have already identified, how will you teach that concept from simple to complex using the maxim simple to complex? I just have water and come. Yes. If anyone has finished, can have a discussion with me. Means they can share it.
Ma'am, may I?
I'm just doing this for my satisfaction to know you have understood. I will do all the maxims and then you will form your own pedagogy groups and you will discuss the maxims and the examples. Okay? This is how I have planned. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Who said I'm ready?
Ma'am, Aisha. Ma'am, may I try?
Yeah, right. Yes,
Ma'am, I took the topic
First
photosynthesis.
of all, start with which is your pedagogy. Go on to the topic.
Science.
Okay, science.
Ma'am, my pedagogy science, I have chosen this topic photosynthesis. So, ma'am,
Okay.
first I'll ask students like, did you all have breakfast? So they will answer yes, so and so they had like anything. So I'll ask them, you all get energy from this. So I'll relate it like even plants get energy from food. Like so how they prepare their food, the main process. Then I'll explain them the process of photosynthesis. So simple to complex. Does it count?
Okay.
Okay.
But in your examination, you will not get time to explain in this manner.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, but you've tried. Good, good. I feel you have understood. Someone else?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. I'm from economics, and the topic I wanted to do was types of money. So I would start with the example saying, okay, so everybody, I want a chocolate. So how will I get a chocolate from a shop? So then that's how they say you have to give something you get in return. And that's how I'll explain them that you will not get it for free. You have to give the money. So then that's how I'll explain the concept of money and start.
Okay, so you use simple to complex. And here, if you see, there is a minor difference between known to unknown.
Yes.
So here, you may use known to unknown also.
Okay.
Got my point, students? There may be a very thin line between various maxims of teaching. Are you getting my point?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, who's this? Who's this? Damini.
Science pedagogy, and the topic which is
I can't hear you, Damini.
Can you hear me now?
No, you're very low. Your voice is very low, dear.
Ma'am, now?
Yes, now you're audible. Much better.
Yes, ma'am. So my pedagogy is science, and the topic which I have selected is chemical reactions. So for that, I can start with atoms and its composition. Then I can move on to the molecules. Then I can tell them how like molecules are formed with different atoms, and then I'll go to the chemical reactions, like how two different molecules combine and everything.
Yes, Vidhi. Anyone else who's raised hand? Yes,
Yes,
Vidhi.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm from economics, and I've taken the topic of demand. So I'll just ask the children that during Holi, what do you think will people buy the most? So they'll answer colors, water guns, water balloons. So then like that's how I connected, and I tell them that therefore in that festival the demand for these three products will be more as compared to any other product in as compared to these products in another season.
Right.
Like for example, in August, no one will buy water guns or colors or water balloons. But in the month of Holi, they will definitely buy that. So therefore, the demand over there and the willingness for them for the people to buy that will be more.
Yeah. Okay. There's a very thin line, as I said, from simple to complex and known to unknown. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, these are various types of maxims.
Ma'am, just a question. When you said, so usually in known to unknown, we can, how you said, have it's usually a smaller difference, right?
Yeah, a very thin line. See, simple to complex is what? Going from very simple to complex known. If you see known, what is known is something which a child is aware of. I can take the word aware to things which they are not aware of.
Ma'am, like I have one question. Suppose if I am teaching students force and pressure, and then I'm showing them a GIF of opening and closing a door, a boy is kicking a ball. So
Right.
is that an example or of concrete to abstract?
Yes.
Okay.
Ma'am, like you also started with the role of a teacher, means first you interact with us and then you show us that video and then you started with the maxims of teaching. No,
Yes.
ma'am.
Yes, we always do that in class. In our class, usually we start with simple to complex, known to unknown.
Okay. Ma'am, so like in English, now if I want to teach student, so the first I will
teach students only.
Yes, sorry. So noun, so first I will tell them to define the, I will means explain the definition and the meaning.
No, you will not go with explanation starting. What
So
did I say?
The previous knowledge.
Yes.
So
what will you do? You will start directly previous knowledge with explanation.
No, ma'am. Example.
Yeah, but what will you do to explain that concept?
Means like ma'am, example I will tell them.
Give them few examples or you'll ask them to make sentences on certain situations.
Yes, ma'am.
Now I want you all to open your syllabus, all of you all, according to your pedagogies, and check what are the different maxims, because each pedagogy will have different maxims to it. Are you all doing what I have said?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And I want from each pedagogy to tell me how many maxims are there. Like one can say from English, one can say from commerce, one can say from science, one can say from economics, one can say from history, one can say from geography. One is only there in geography, by the way. Yes. Have you all checked your syllabus? Have you checked your syllabus?
Checking, ma'am.
How much time, dear?
Yes, ma'am, checked it.
Yes, Jaffin, can you tell me what are the maxims of teaching in geography? I think
Ma'am, in
I could not
science,
hold the attention of Jaffin in the class, I think so.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
couldn't be an effective teacher for Jaffin.
Ma'am, can I say?
Who's that?
Jeffin.
You're Jaffin or Jiffin?
It's Jeffin.
Tell me.
So in geography, we will have
We
known to
will
unknown.
not. The syllabus gives us that.
The syllabus gives known to unknown.
Only one maxim.
And yeah, like you said, there's only one maximum.
I'm talking about check your syllabus and tell me what's there in the syllabus, Jaffin.
One minute, ma'am.
So what were you doing since so long?
ma'am, in science,
Sciences. What are the different?
yeah, in science, it is simple to complex.
1 minute, I'll just show the slide. Please check. Yes. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. So in science, simple to complex. Then the last one, whole to parts, empirical to rational, concrete to abstract, known to unknown, and particular to general. So there are
all this is there in my slide.
Yes, ma'am.
क्यों मेरा slide show नहीं आ रहा?
There's one thing particular to general यहाँ पे लिखा है.
हाँ तो particular to general मेरा भी तो है ना. General particular, it's like in either way.
Okay.
Ma'am, for
नहीं आ रहा मेरा slide show. आ गया.
Ma'am, in history, it's simple to complex, no abstract to
Yeah, please check.
Ma'am, for economics, it's particular to general, known to unknown, concrete to abstract, analysis to
I just want to know whether what is there on my slide, you have all these things, right?
Yes, yes.
Other than that, you all don't have anything.
No.
Yes. So I made it clear that each pedagogy will have different maxims of teaching. But we will learn all and we will see which goes with your methods, your pedagogy.
Ma'am, regarding geography, we have maxims of simple to complex, known to unknown, concrete to abstract, and particular to general.
Only 4. Are there 4 or 5 maxims in each pedagogy?
4 in geography.
4 in economics.
4 in economics?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So can I proceed now? Can I proceed? What are they?
Yes.
So see, if you see, we finish with simple to complex. Have we?
Yes, ma'am.
Known to unknown.
Yes,
Have
yes,
we?
ma'am.
Concrete to abstract. Now I'll just show you all the examples. Now, what is simple to complex? In your examination, when you get this question, you're supposed to explain what do you mean by simple to complex, and you're going to write down the examples. So please read and understand what is proceed, and you have to use the word proceed from simple to complex. You just cannot write simple to complex.
Okay, ma'am.
Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now proceed from simple to complex. Can someone read?
Ma'am, your screen, are you sharing your screen?
I'm sharing what? Yes. You're not able to see?
No.
Okay, wait. Where did I go? Okay, I'll share the screen. 1 minute. Can you all see now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Someone read loudly so that we can move faster.
Proceed from simple to complex. Subject matter should be so divided that those ideas which are easy to understand are used as the starting point and others follow in simple order. Simplicity and complexity should be determined from the child's point of view.
Have you understood what does this mean?
Yes, ma'am.
You need any explanation?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am. Yes.
Okay.
Main thing we have to note here is that the simple thing isn't according to the teacher's term, but it is supposed to be from the child's point of view. What is simple?
Very good. Very good. Now, these are some examples the way you're expected to write in the examination. See, if you see this arrow, this goes down below, huh? Sab arrows mere hat gaye. Calculation of simple interest is a simple concept. Then you go on to the complex is compound interest. But before telling them what is compound interest, you need to explain what is
Simple interest.
Simple interest.
Understood how you are going to write examples in your pedagogies. You will mention what is the simple maxim. You're going to mention what is the complex one. I have many examples. You can see in science. Have you got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Is simple to complex clear? Have I given examples for all the pedagogies?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you all understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I go on to the next now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
What is proceed from known to unknown? Someone can just read out.
Proceed from known to unknown. Old knowledge serves as a hook from which the new can be hanged. Schoolwork should arise out of life and child's experiences, old ideas, previous knowledge, and then link it with experiences and ideas.
With new experiences. Who's that?
Ma'am, actually your bar is there that
What bar?
I think it's the something of the Zoom.
Screen is not loaded properly, ma'am, so we can see a bar just beside with.
Right.
Okay, with new experiences and ideas. Is it clear the difference between simple to complex and known to unknown?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So when we say known to unknown, we are trying to take the experiences of the child. Yes, we are going to take the previous knowledge and link it with the new experience and ideas. These are some of the examples of known to unknown.
Ma'am, I have one question. You told us to write 3 examples of a pedagogy, right? So we can do it from first and second pedagogy.
No, you're writing your paper for first pedagogy, no?
Okay. So
why will you go on to your second pedagogy now? This can be used in your second pedagogy later on.
Okay, ma'am.
You are going, see, these maxims are common to all. So it's not that, but now it is there in your syllabus and you're going to use it in your lesson plans.
Yes, ma'am.
You're going to take only the pedagogy which you're writing your paper for your exam.
Okay, ma'am, I got it. Thank you.
See how I've written topic, equatorial region, aware of location, then map, and regions falling in the equatorial region is unknown. So this is how you're going to write in your examination and example. You're not going to write questions and all. Have you got my point?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, I had a doubt.
1 minute. Let me finish this before I go on to the next. You can ask me.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. Who was that?
Aditi. Ma'am, I
Yes.
want to ask if the examples have to be, do we have to elaborate
No.
on
What did I say? See how I've written example.
that it would be sufficient?
Yes, that's only what is required.
Okay, thank you.
And therefore, I said 3 of each.
Yes, ma'am.
Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Am I clear? That's the reason I'm showing you how to write examples. See the arrows. See what I have written. I've also written what is known and what is unknown to be taught to the child.
Ma'am, can this example be general to specific? Because from a general view about freedom fighters, it's going to one specific freedom fighters role.
We will see what is general to specific in our later slides, and then you decide what you have in your mind. But are these two clear now? Known to, unknown, simple to complex?
Yes.
Can I move further? Someone can read it.
Proceed from concrete to abstract. Pupils learn better from things they can handle and see. Young children cannot think in abstract terms or concepts. The imagination should be aided by concrete materials. Vivid and clear illustrations should be given.
Is it clear now? Here, I mean you're showing something and going on to an abstract thing. You're giving examples. Illustrations means either you do a demo, either you give them more examples. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Any explanation you require for this?
No, ma'am.
These are examples. Is the third one clear to you all?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I have given majority examples in each pedagogy.
Ma'am, and economics are not given only any.
Economics nahi hai. तो मैं आपको
No,
discuss
ma'am. In the earlier ones also it wasn't.
Yeah, from
Okay,
the
I'm
first.
sorry, I'll add in. Sorry.
It's okay, ma'am.
This is what we are doing now, particularly. Let me start with this. Now proceed from, you will write the word. What is important when you write maxim? Which word you're going to use?
Proceed
Proceed from.
Any maxim you're writing, you will write the word proceed. Please read now what is particular to general.
Proceed from particular to general. Particular facts and examples must be presented to the children before giving them general rules or concepts. As a matter of fact, a study of particular facts should lead the children to frame the general rules themselves. Pupils should be encouraged to, ma'am, what is that word after to?
Frame.
To frame correct generalization.
What do you mean by these pointers? Can we take a morning musing today, what we did in science?
Spoke about the onion and what.
So was that a particular fact?
Sorry, ma'am?
Was that a particular fact that was today what, what's his name?
Akhil.
Akhil did today. He talked about a general fact, particular fact. What fact did he talk about onions? That we cry when we cut onions. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
And what rules and theory did he give behind that?
Because onion contains volatile oil and it highly reacts in air, and that is why we get tears.
So is that example of particular to general?
Yes, ma'am, because he started with a small fact and then he broadened the concept.
Yes. So have you understood when I say proceed from particular to general?
Yeah, ma'am. Now I got it.
Everyone, someone, Pooja, you had some question. Have I answered that, Pooja?
Yes, ma'am, for the earlier example. But that was from one that was general to particular.
That we'll see later on what it is. Okay.
Okay.
Is this clear? Can I show you all examples now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Math. Can BODMAS be a particular and then applying it to general? Mathematics students?
Method, and then you're using it.
Yes, so you're using it for the other things also, right? Open the brackets, this, that. So that can be an example.
Yes, it can be.
Ma'am, you'd have to first motivate the, you have to show how, like there's some sort of disambiguation procedure, you have to explain it once, then it will become a rule. If you start with BODMAS, ma'am, then you're already the general.
Okay. No, I mean to say you have already explained BODMAS, I'm saying. But when you're teaching other things, you use BODMAS as your particular part and then you apply it for the general. Is that an example? I'm asking you all. I may not be the right person in mathematics. Please ask this to your method master.
Okay.
Geography. You're going from a particular thing to which is applicable to a general thing. Okay. Empirical to rational. Let's see what is that.
Observation and first-hand experience. Experiences are the basis of empirical knowledge that are factual, real, and first-hand. Rational knowledge implies a bit of abstraction and argumentative approach. Rational knowledge is that where facts are explained more scientifically.
Can someone explain this in their own words? Proceed from empirical to rational. What do you mean by empirical? What does the word empirical mean? What is the meaning of empirical?
Something for which we have an evidence, like a research, something backup.
Okay. Yes, you have an evidence. Guided by experience or experiment, derived from guided form or guided experience or experiment, we can say, which is empirical. It is based on observation without using scientific method. Is that what we mean by empirical?
Yes, ma'am.
And we go on to rational. What do you mean by the word rational?
More related to abstraction.
More related to abstraction?
Yeah, I mean.
So it bases on your knowledge, you
Logic.
Logic. Very good. That was Jaffin, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Rational means logic. You give a reason. Do you see we have give reasons in geography and science? in economics? Yes, you have that in the papers we have give reason. Am I talking to the
Yes,
class
ma'am.
or I'm talking to someone
Yes,
else?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. There is a
So
question of
when I
reason.
say empirical, it means that it is not in a scientific manner. And when I say rational, I'm giving scientific logic to what I'm trying to explain. Here we do not use scientific method, but in rationality we use scientific method. We prove it through logical reasoning. Are you getting my point?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Ma'am, what is
Yes.
this argumentative approach?
It implies a bit of abstraction. See, rationalization knowledge will always be little abstract. See, give reasons all students cannot explain why it is happening. Now, when we did morning musing, we talked about we have tears in our eyes when we cut onions. That is a bit of abstraction, right? Am I right? There is abstraction.
Yes,
Then he
ma'am.
gave us a logical reason towards why tears are formed when we cut onions. And there were certain questions coming up when this was discussed. It was more and also argumentative approach. Like there comes up another facts, another reasons behind it, another questions that come in after this when we have from empirical to rational. When we move from unscientific to scientific, there has to be little more argumentation. Why this way? Why not that way? Are you
Yes,
getting
ma'am. Yeah, ma'am.
These are some of the examples. See, if you see a simple email, but there are ways to write in a logical way. You need to write an email, a formal email, a non-form, a very casual email. You understand when I say empirical to rational? You're giving reasons to that particular fact or that particular, you can say the cycle or the changes.
Ma'am, so one will
a simple question. When iron is exposed to air, it rusts. Hello.
Yes, ma'am, because it oxidizes in air. So this is empirical, giving reason.
This is rational. You're giving reason, scientific reason. It is empirical.
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes. And but you're giving a reason to that. Why
Yeah.
it is happening, why it gets rust.
Yes, ma'am. So this comes under giving scientific reason, or any reason will come under empirical.
Yes. Yes. From it will come under rational, empirical to rational. You're giving a reason is a rational reason you're giving.
Yes,
scientific reason you're giving. So it will be rational, right? Is there any confusion, students? I feel there is confusion over here.
Ma'am, I have confusion.
Yes, tell me.
Me too.
Yes, please ask. Take this. This is a general example of geography. Teacher questions why India faces different season in India. How many seasons do we have in India?
3: monsoon, summer, winter.
And how many seasons are there abroad?
4.
What are they?
Spring, summer, autumn, winter.
Can you tell me the reasons why we have 3 and why 4 over there?
Climate, we have a tropical climate and whereas the others have a temperate climate.
So are you giving me a rational reason? It is just a general cycle that is we are experiencing. It is general. We all know that we have seasons. But why we have, can an illiterate person give me that reason?
No.
No.
We need logical reasoning towards it, right?
Yes.
So that is what is from empirical to rational.
Remember, in empirical only you've asked why we face. So isn't that time
Yes.
we be using it?
And you're giving, we are asking why is it happening? And we are giving reasons because of this reason it is happening.
Ma'am, so empirical is just the observation.
Yes, as I said, it is unscientific.
Okay.
There is no scientific method used over here.
So in rational, while explaining, we have to explain them the scientific reason, right, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, ma'am. Now it is clear.
Got it?
Okay.
1 minute. A simple question. 1 minute. I'll just give a simple and you give me a reason behind that. Too much of why does the color of the clothes fade when exposed too much to the sun? Or why does skin tan when exposed to the sun?
So here the empirical statement is that the observation is that the skin is tanning.
Yes.
And the reason we
Why
give
it
for
is
why it
tanning?
happens-
Why? And the reason that you're giving is because of the UV rays, right?
yeah, I think it's production of melanin or something.
Yes, because of the rays coming directly on your skin is exposed to that rays and it cannot take in, and therefore it leads to this. So are you giving a rational reason to it?
Right, yes.
Simple things in our life, which a science student can give a rational reason. A doctor can give a rational reason. So you're encouraging the students to give reasons when you're using maxims. This maxim. I hope I made myself clear.
Yes, ma'am. Understood.
Have you all understood now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Proceed from analysis to synthesis. What do you mean by the word analysis? What do you mean by the word analysis and what do you mean by the word synthesis? Please give me a meaning of analysis and synthesis.
Analysis means breakdown, while synthesis means production, like we are mixing together, coming up together.
You synthesize together and analysis is you separate. Is that what you mean? Give me the meaning from the dictionary. Analysis. Separating of any material.
No, probably a detailed study about a particular topic.
Separation of any material is analysis, right? Or no?
Yes, ma'am.
And synthesis?
Combination.
Synthesis, combining. Yes, making into a unified whole. A complex whole formed by combining.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? Let's see then what is analysis to synthesis.
Analysis consists in taking a part of a thing and studying the elements of that part. Synthesis is complement to analysis, the combination of components or elements to the form of connected whole.
So analysis is what? Parts,
Yeah.
right? And synthesis is what? Whole. So this also overlaps with part to whole or whole to parts, right?
Ma'am, so it's like a big topic where from which you take the part. So that is the only analysis part.
Yes, yes,
That
yes.
entire thing together, it becomes.
Yes. Now, if I want to teach them flower, parts of flower, how will I use this maxim proceed from analysis to synthesis?
So start with each part separately, the roots, the stem, the bud, and
Yes.
then overall explain them again.
Or you can also go vice versa. You show the full plant and then you take the parts. Pooja.
Okay.
Ma'am, it would be more simpler if we show them different parts and how it functions, and then we can
And then you put it
them
together
as a
and
whole
show them
that
the
all these
entire
constituents a flower. Right?
Yes,
ma'am.
Is that clear? What is analysis to synthesis?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Ma'am, but as you said earlier, just now only that you do the entire plant together and then go to the parts. So that is, it can go either way.
It depends. The teacher can show the whole plant. Then she can say, let's take each part. Or teacher can show each part and say, this makes the whole parts of a flower. See, I've written whole parts whole. Right? Okay, you keep in, don't get confused. Just keep in mind whole parts whole. Hello? When you
Yes,
talk
ma'am, we can
about
hear you.
proceed from analysis to synthesis, keep in mind you show the whole, you then break it into parts and then you show the whole. Or you go from parts to whole. You can either make it in this manner. You can also go from parts to whole. When you're demonstrating an experiment, do you tell them the conclusion?
No.
No, ma'am.
You do step by step.
Yes.
And then you come to a conclusion as a whole. What is the experiment?
Right.
So that is what is proceed from analysis to synthesis. Am I clear now?
Yes, ma'am.
You can have more discussion with your method masters, with your example students. Just try to understand the concept. Am I giving examples? You try to relate it to your this pedagogy. But have you understood what is analysis? What is synthesis?
Yes, ma'am.
Now let's take this. Do we do this when we do a poem?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
The teacher shows the globe. Then the layers, analysis. Then she joins the parts to make a meaningful whole.
Okay.
Then now this is proceed from general to particular. That is specific. It is logical process. It applies rules and then draws the conclusion. And it is the extract of deductive method. What do you mean by this? It applies the rules, then draws the conclusion.
So ma'am, if something like you got like BODMAS can be an example here where you know the rules of BODMAS and then you apply it to solve something.
Very good, very good. And is it a logical process?
Yes, yes.
You start with brackets?
Yes.
BODMAS, BODMAS, right?
Yes.
How do you explain BODMAS? Brackets?
Brackets
Half,
of division,
multiplication,
addition,
subtraction.
Okay, got it? Proceed from whole to parts. That was what? Whole to part. That was analysis to synthesis, right? That was parts to whole that we did.
Yes.
This is whole to part.
Whole is more meaningful to the child than the parts of a whole. First, the concept, unit, topic has to be viewed as a whole. Then it is taught part by part. Whole learning is better than part learning. It helps the child to develop relationship between the central idea of the matter and material and develop sense and interrelation.
Now see, you will say 1 point, ma'am, there is a confusion in your mind or no, you tell me. 1 point, ma'am is saying part se whole jao. Or other part mein teacher bol rahi hai whole se part jao. I'm confused what to do. Is that going on in your mind?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. And what is the answer? Someone just said it now.
Yeah, ma'am, it depends upon the situation and the chapter, how you are
Depends
going.
on the concept and the topic. It doesn't depend on the situation.
Yes,
Okay,
concept
ma'am.
or topic that
Concept.
has to be taught.
You can so I'm telling you there are various maxims depending on the need. What is your priority? What you feel the students will understand in the topic, whether parts or whole or parts. It is up to you to decide. But this is one of the maxim that it can go from parts to whole or whole to parts. Have you understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I go further?
Yes, ma'am.
These are some of the examples. We have nouns, then we have different types of nouns.
So
now take simple example. I gave you all the topics in psychology, right? I gave you all critical thinking. And what did I say? In that, what are you going to do? You're going to divide that topic into different parts. You're going to explain the concept. You're going to explain about the principles or significance. You're going to explain the process. You're going to explain the educational implications, right?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? Similarly, we have various topics which goes from whole to part. This is a whole and to the parts is this, or I tell the whole thing and then I go to the parts. As I gave you an example about flower. It's up to the teacher whether she wants to show the whole and go on to the parts or show parts and go on to the whole.
So ma'am, and for example, if the topic is multiculturalism, so first we will be explaining multiculturalism and then we will be explaining the types of multicultural, the dimensions, sorry.
Yes,
so
yes.
that is going from whole to parts?
Yes.
Okay.
So ma'am, usually like when we're doing types, it's a common big topic and then we go into the types of a particular thing or something like that.
Yes. Like in science, what are the types of forces? Forces के types होते हैं ना? हाँ?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Contact forces, non-contact forces.
Yes. और simple examples क्या हो सकता है science में types में?
Example of contact.
Or types of chemical reactions.
वो जरा higher level होता है, थोड़ा lower आओ ना.
Ma'am, contact forces में we can.
Energy, kinetic energy.
Yes, energy, types of energy.
Potential, kinetic.
Kinetic, potential.
समझ में आया?
So ma'am, in economics, if it will be
sectors
of economics.
हाँ.
हो गया?
हाँ.
इतना तो आता है थोड़ा बहुत मेरे को दूसरे पेडागोजी. थोड़ा आता है, इतना नहीं. Now, tell me, we have completed the maxims. What are the different maxims that we have studied?
Known to unknown.
Start from, please use the correct word.
Proceed from
simple to complex.
Unknown.
Proceed from known to unknown. Proceed from concrete to abstract. Proceed from particular to general. Proceed from empirical to rational. Proceed from analysis to synthesis. Proceed from general to specific. And proceed from whole to parts.
Is that clear? Now check in your syllabus and read and understand whether you have understood these maxims. Open your syllabus and see what type of maxims you have. 4 types you all have. Are you able to relate? Are you able to explain? Are you able to give examples in your pedagogies that you all have the maxims? You can have more discussions if there are little more, you all have some queries with regard to your pedagogies that your pedagogy masters only can help you. Okay?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
But I'm sure you all are clear about the concepts, the different maxims that we have done. You know what it is.
Yes.
I'm confident about that you all know that much.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay, now
ma'am.
let's take why maxims are important. Read and tell me, are these reasons that maxims are important? It is important to use maxims in the classroom.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you agree with all these?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Is it
ma'am.
child-centered?
Yes.
Yes.
Why it is child-centered?
Ma'am, we can take example of the first two maxims only, where they are actually trying to make it easier for the child to learn.
First three, Pooja.
Yes, ma'am.
But they are based on, it is child-centered, right? Everything is revolving around child because we want the child to understand the learning, the concept that you're teaching. So isn't it child-centered?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
And they are based on the abilities, interests, aptitude of the children, which form the basis of. What do you mean by this?
Ma'am,
that the interest of the child should be taken into consideration.
Not taken into consideration. The maxims do take into consideration. Therefore,
Yes,
you
ma'am, I
use
said
the
that.
maxims. Na? See, you use the first three maxims for the lower class.
Right.
So keeping the interest, the ability, the aptitude of the child, you're using that in the classroom.
Yes.
And
Yes,
later
ma'am.
on, you're using the higher, that is the
Higher.
mode which is required for the secondary ones, which we can say.
Yes.
So when you're using the maxims, they are based on the abilities, the interest and the aptitude of the children. Keep those things in mind. And if you're going to a 5th standard, which maxims you feel more you will use?
Particular to general, proceeding from particular to general.
Known to unknown, ma'am.
You see all maxims. Whenever you're using teaching, you start from simple to complex.
Ma'am, can you repeat? I didn't hear you.
I said whenever you go to class, you use first three maxims first.
Okay.
Okay, nahi? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Why are we using simple to complex, known to unknown, and concrete to abstract?
So that if that base is clear, then we'll be able to move on to the.
It comes next. Maxim quickens the interest of the learners and motivate them to learn. And it also makes them, teaching makes it, the maxim makes the teaching more lively experience because you're connecting everything to their life. Right? One of the maxims says connection to life experiences. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
ये एग्जाम में आता है short notes, significance of maxims of teaching. Any 2, any 3, you have to explain in detail these pointers.
Yes, ma'am.
Please don't take it lightly. Next. I'm sure you have understood these pointers.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't need to because we started our lecture with participation involvement and all. Last, what maxims provide? They means maxims. How many of you all agree with this? Can someone explain to me?
So, ma'am, if we know the previous knowledge of the child, based on that, we can provide the new knowledge to them.
Yes.
It is what it means.
That is one of the maxim. One of the maxim.
Yes.
It gives insight into the mental ability. What do you mean by this? Provides an insight into the mental ability?
What the students know about the topic, we can get an idea and what they are
Yes.
able to reproduce from that.
You know that if I'm in class of 4th standard, what would be their mental ability? And maxims helps me to get more insights into it. And how you can provide more knowledge keeping this in mind. and therefore gives us the framework. Maxims gives us the framework for what?
Content, methodology, the guidelines to work within this framework.
Right or no?
Yes.
You all were telling me that what does a teacher use? The content, the methodology, the techniques. But when you're using all these things, maxims are the framework which you keep in mind and you teach, not the content and the methodology you use. So it gives a framework for the content and the methodology and makes the teacher and gives the guidelines to the teacher to work within that framework. You're teaching a content. Maxims tells you how to teach, which maxims to use. You're using a methodology, means you're showing a model. So again, you're using maxims over there. Whole to part, part to whole. Was it too much?
No, ma'am.
Was it too much, students, to register?
No, ma'am. But once we practice, we will get more efficient in it.
Yeah, तो practice तो करनी ही पड़ेगी ना. But ये important topic है हाँ, ये sure questions होता है. एक question university में होता ही है this particular question.
Yes, ma'am.
So when you have to explain any of the two significance points with example, those examples will be from our pedagogy only.
Yes. Okay, I'll give you now 3 to 4 minutes break and we come back again and we again discuss if you have any questions and all. Take a break of 3 to 4 minutes so that you can register, you can grasp whatever we have done. You can store it in your mind. I know listening, I've been talking since 10:15 and you've been listening. I can understand it's not easy, but I'm just giving you a little time for your brain to grasp, to absorb what you have just heard in these 2 hours or 1.5 hours. And just try to absorb whatever you have learned. I give you 3 to 4 minutes break. We meet by 11:55. The lecture gets over.
Ma'am, the lecture gets over at 11:55 and 12 o'clock the FDC starts.
12 o'clock?
The FDC starts.
Okay, just 11:55. I'll take 5 more minutes after this. I'll just give you 5 minutes break and we meet up for just a discussion.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are we back? I've left a message in my faculty group that I'll require 10 more minutes. Are we back?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
What are maxims? What are maxims?
Maxims are the principles, tenets, working rules, which makes the teaching more interesting. And yeah.
Okay. What are the different types of maxims?
Simple to complex, concrete to abstract, known to unknown, unknown to known,
No, be clear what you're saying.
known to unknown,
What else?
analysis to synthesis,
Empirical to
whole to
rational.
part,
Whole to part, then
Empirical to rational.
empirical
Empirical to rational.
Okay.
General to specific.
Yes, very good.
Particular to general.
Okay. And what is the significance of maxims of teaching?
They're child-centered.
Child-centered.
Based on the abilities, attitudes, and interests. They make teaching a more lively experience.
Yes, only this much you'll remember. What else? It acts as a framework for what?
It acts as a framework for the content, the methodology, and it provides guidelines to work within that framework.
And also maxims are guidepost for a teacher.
Yes.
Okay. So can I assume that you'll have understood 60 to 70%, 30% will be taken care in your pedagogy classes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, in
Yes,
terms of
ma'am.
examples and all that will be taken care in the pedagogy class.
Yeah, but we have discussed few examples, right? You are aware about how to write examples in maxims, and we have discussed few economics examples also. It's not that we have not discussed any examples, right? But more discussions can be done in your methodology class, pedagogy classes. I'm not getting any reply. I know you're bored with me.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah, you're bored. I know that.
No, ma'am, we've got
No,
it.
ma'am.
The
It was
rest
not
of
for
it
the
will be
board
taken
part.
care
It
of.
was for you asking if you have understood.
Concept is clear now.
Okay. So will you be able to write an answer if I tell you right now to write a 5-mark answer on maxims?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
How many of you all say yes? Please raise your hand. Let me see in the group. How many of you all say yes? Out of 45, I've got only 8 who says that they can write 10. 16. 17 students out of 45 say that they are confident of writing an answer on maxim. 21. Not even 50% of my class. Only 24 students are confident. Out of 45 are there in the participant list. Okay, remove me as 44. 44 in class and 26 says that they can write an answer on maxims. Like whatever you have understood from the beginning I'm talking about. I'm not talking about any specific thing. Like what are maxims? then what are the different types, then what are the benefits, all those things, significance basically. Only 26 are saying. So what about my other students?
Ma'am, a few of them might have not come back from the break that you gave.
Please put a message in the group that ma'am is there. Okay. Little bit feedback about the session.
It's quite clear, ma'am. I mean, it had a direction and we understood, I think.
Okay, thank you. What else?
Ma'am, the examples really helped us to connect to each and every maxim. So it really helped us. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay, what else? Please remind your pedagogy teachers to discuss more examples in class, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, the flow of the content was very easy to understand
Okay.
throughout the 2 hours.
Ma'am, you went from whole to parts.
Okay. Thank you. Who was that?
Ma'am, me, Viti.
That's application. Good. What else? What do you feel I can improve upon? How can I make this more interesting and little more, I feel, can you give me a few more suggestions?
Ma'am, I wanted to suggest, I think there is a part of the class that may at times not feel very comfortable to share and participate for the fear of being wrong. So I think that if it could be a little more
You're scared of me asking you all questions.
no, we are scared of giving the wrong answer and not getting a good feedback.
No, see, what did I say? That in my classroom, there are no right and wrong answers. Have you ever said this is, have you heard that I said, no, this is not right, next time don't answer. Did I ever say that?
Ma'am, non-verbal, verbal.
Means?
Ma'am, so
non-verbal gesture, she said.
My non-verbal gestures are very bad.
मैम इट्स नॉट बैड लाइक डर लगता है ऐसा कभी कभी तो गुस्से कर देंगे बहुत ज्यादा
तो उससे तो तुम लोग डर के पढ़ते हो
यार डर के पढ़ते तो है लेकिन पार्टिसिपेट करने में डर लगता है
क्यों डर लगता है मैंने तो स्टार्टिंग बोला इट्स योर पर्सपेक्टिव एंड आई से एजुकेशन इज अ डिसिप्लिन वेयर देयर इज नो राइट एंड रॉन्ग इट्स योर ओन पर्सपेक्टिव
ma'am, there's not enough motivation to participate. Like if, for example, if I'm going to be, if I think this is not aligned, like my point of view is not aligning to what you may be expecting, I may not even try because
that is what I'm saying. It is all about trying, no?
No, ma'am, but then the response is a little coldish. So then it is scary. Like it is not scary.
I reply my replies are a bit cold from as a teacher's perspective.
No, ma'am. We like in a nutshell, we can say you always hit a bullseye. Like I remember in the last class, आपने like मैंने बोला मैम network issue था and you just like said कि you always have network issue in my class and you never had a issue in your social media. So
that hurted you.
No, ma'am. It's
so
not
that
like
motivated you to answer today because you are the first one in the morning who I could hear 5-10 minutes talking. Hamid के आसपास से आवाज आ रही.
Yeah, that like yes, that motivated me.
Okay. At times it may motivate someone.
Negative
At times
reinforcement.
it may hurt someone, but don't take my things to your heart. You can take it any other place where you want to reduce your body parts. Please don't take it to your heart. Have you understood? Don't take it to your heart.
Yes, ma'am. Sure.
Ma'am, why we don't take it personally? That we don't take it personally. I mean, at least
I also come to class. Listen, I come to class, I teach. My objective is my students should understand. My objective is that if someone questions in the faculty, should be knowing that, okay, the students have understood and benefited from the seminar or the orientation. My objective is that. My objective is I don't want my students to be taking this subject as a burden. So if I'm not a bit strict, I don't think so you all will pay attention. If I don't throw questions in between, I'm sure you will not listen. That's human nature. What do you have to say about that?
Ma'am, questions is we appreciate. In fact,
Patience, I agree at times I may be a bit rude. Maybe spontaneously something comes out from my mouth or such, I react to that situation. And I don't respond.
I think so. Yesterday there was this question that you had asked about something, and one of us had responded. If my personal point of view would have been like, ma'am, it's not like it's not cold, but it's not even warm. So then, मतलब at times it's not that you would say something. ऐसा नहीं है कि आप कुछ बोल दे रहे हो, ऐसा नहीं है. But कभी-कभी बोल देते हो. But फिर मतलब main generally also if it would be a little warm than that, but otherwise overall.
अब मैं स्वेटर पहन के आऊंगी.
मैम एक्चुअली आपने बोला था जस्ट ब्रेक, जब हमारा वेकेशन ब्रेक था उससे पहले, कि everyone sees you as a gabbar, yeah, and you're trying to change that image. So like in some sense, like we are like also like giving our input to just help you change that gabbar wala thing.
Achha, thank you, Hamid. I like that. Thank you so much. Yes, please help me.
Yes, Gabbar ma'am, good morning.
Good morning. Good afternoon, madam.